As a result of the 20 gallons of water we've taken from the tank, we want to replenish it with new, clean salt water, 5 gallons at a time for a total of 20 gallons. The main power. Now that the system's filling up, we want to turn on the power and begin to circulate the water within the tank. This tank is serviced every 2 weeks. So we do a 20-gallon water change. And you saw the empty containers. They are a convenient means of topping off evaporated water. In other words, instead of the homeowner having to lug around the big 5-gallon jug, they can use these smaller containers that I've pre-filled for them. Probably spill half the water out the outside of the container, but makes it convenient for the customer. A clean protein skimmer is a happy protein skimmer. I'm considering this is the main line of, I won't say filtration, but defense for the filtration. The more the protein skimmer could drive out, the less the filter system needs to deal with. So you always want to make sure the protein skimmer is as aerated as possible and doing the best it can. It's a Venturi-operated protein skimmer, meaning the water pump that sends the water into the skimmer is also the mechanism that sucks the air into the protein skimmer. And in the process, it beats up that air into many, many, many fine little bubbles. And it's that bubble or froth that drives the organic compounds out of the system and into that collection cup. Again, it lessens what the biological filter needs to deal with. And of course, invariably, there's the spot that you missed. It's going to stand out, so you need to go back and take care of it. And of course, cleaning up the outside, or in this case, the backside of the aquarium. Inside of the aquarium, outside of the aquarium, they're both just as important. And let's lower the lights. You see the lights are mounted on a board, and the board is supported at both ends with some chains, and then there's a little eye loop there that I can lift it up and hook it onto that hook right there, and in turn the lighting system will lift up off the bottom of the tank and up and out of the way so I can work on the tank. But when you're not working on the tank, the lights are as close to the tank as possible, thus providing as much light as possible through the top of the tank for the living corals. Now, one of the things that's really important in a reef tank is calcium. And there's a handful of 2-part calcium supplements on the market that I'm very fond of. The homeowner doesn't add this on a regular basis, so I need to add it in a little extra strength quantities during my visits. Like my scientific approach there? Not necessarily a specific quantity, but at least it's the same in both parts, because like a bartender, I'm just counting as I dispense it. So both of them in this case, I counted as 7. So whatever the volume is that dispenses during 7 counts, at least it's equal on both sides. Now, pH in any aquarium is very important. I use a buffer to help support that pH. You'll notice that I'm going to put the buffer down in the filter below, namely because it takes a while to dissolve, and I think the most appropriate place to allow it to dissolve is in the filter where it can't affect anything. Pour this on top of your corals, they're not going to be very happy. Now you did notice that I did not put the 2-part calcium supplement down here. I put it up in the tank. The reason for that is the 2-part calcium supplement is a very chalky, very calcareous liquid. And if I put it down in the sump and allow the water pump to pick it up, it's eventually just going to coat the internal components of that water pump, which will inhibit its operation. So I put the 2-part calcium in the tank directly where it can diffuse readily. And it's not going to hurt the corals up there because, again, it'll diffuse quite quickly. But down here, it would cause a problem with the water pumps.
So that takes care of servicing a 150-gallon soft coral reef tank. Basically, we've taken care of the algae, done a large water change, addressed some of the equipment maintenance issues, and added the appropriate supplements.